Hello everyone, my name is Peter Wolf and thank you for joining today on the Wolf College of Coffee's vlog. Today we're going to talk about sight glasses, and I guess really what got me thinking about it is, as the universe does its thing on a daily basis, we stock a range of spare parts here, and for most of you know that we are the agents for Probat Coffee Roasters here in Australia and New Zealand. So we have a lot of spare parts, not only for the new models but the old models. Anyway, we've been stocking the old curved glass sight glasses. We've had about 5 of these on stock for the last 3 years, and have not sold a single sight glass to anyone. Well, anyway, over the last sort of 4 weeks, not only have we sold those 5, but we've had some other customers even ring us up this week, looking for some more. So we don't have any, and we've had to order in some more stock. And it's just one of those funny things, and it got me thinking about sight glasses and what to do if one breaks and why do we have them. So sight glasses, when one thinks about it, it's really just there for you to look into the coffee and to get a visual reference on how things are tracking, so looking at the change of colour. And I guess the reason why that's there is because we don't really want to be taking the trier in and out too many times, because as we know, that adds cold air into the roaster. And so by having the sight glass, it just allows the roasting environment to sort of continue to stay stable, and we can kind of just have a visual reference of what's going on. There are 2 types of sight glasses that I wanted to talk about. We have the curved ones, which is what I have here in front of me, and these are typically what we found on a lot of the older built style roasters, particularly the UG series and G series roasters. This particular one here sits on a UG22 and a UG15. For those of you that aren't aware, that a UG15 and a UG22 is effectively the same roaster. It's identical in every way except the drum size is just a little bit shorter. That is the only difference between the 2 models. So all of the parts are exactly the same. So we have that, and then we obviously have the newer version, which is obviously a little bit thicker and smaller, and this is what's available on all of the new Probatone roasters. And this is a high temperature borosilicate product. And is really very durable. So where the problems we typically find happen with sight glasses is when we take them out and we want to clean them. That's where they typically get broken the most. One of the hardest things is actually physically getting them out, because you tend to find that they have they've got build-up sort of holding them in place, so it's got lots of oil and creosote and roasting build-up. So typically I take the screws out, and I'll pull the cover plate off. At that particular time, I get a bit of an assessment on how sort of sticky it is, or if it falls out, it comes out very easily. Great. So always have your hand there to catch it just in case. Typically, what I would normally do after is take the drum. Take the drum flap off here, off the door, and remove that, and then I take my hand up the inside and I start tapping from the inside out onto the sight glass, just to see if I can get that to loosen up on the inside, where it's basically all been sort of fouled up with all of the build-up that's on the inside, and that should pop out nicely in my hand. And if that happens, amazing, good. Don't ever put a screwdriver in up the top and try and jimmy it or sort of pry it out, because that's where basically they break. That's one area that's a common breaking area for that. In terms of the cleaning, we do just soak them overnight in espresso machine cleaner, and then particularly with the curved glass ones here, you can use a nylon sort of abrasive pad or a scourer on that to help remove some of the more stubborn ones. On the modern ones, we definitely don't recommend any sort of abrasive or scourer on that, because we tend to find that it really will sort of almost make it a bit frosty, and it sort of cloudies it up. So this one is, again, just about soaking it in the liquid and then using really the back of your nail or a microfiber cloth to help get these ones kind of nice and clean. Should you break the sight glass, then one of the things that you need to do, and what a really quick remedy is just go and buy some aluminium foil, and then that you use at home for cooking. Make some little patches up about so big, and do a few layers of that, and then all you do is just to fold it around to get it into the right shape, and then put it back inside the sight glass and screw the cover plate back on it, and that will sort of keep you motoring in the interim until you can be able to obtain a spare replacement. The key thing is that when you do put them back in, do not over tighten them, and that's where they tend to break, is when they get over tightened, because one of the things is, particularly on the older curved style glasses, is they do need to have a little bit of movement to them. So when you do put your finger on them, they should tap a little bit. There should be a little bit of a tapping to it, and they do need to move around. That's to allow for expansion not only of the drum plate itself, but there is a little bit of movement that you get in the glass, and remembering that there is pressure always being applied against it from the back side, from the beans rolling around. So we need to be allowing for this little bit of movement. If you do over tighten it, what may happen is it cracks, and when we do tighten it, also make sure that we're tightening very similar to that we do on the wheel of our car when we're fixing a flat tire, that you want to be able to tighten up in small amounts around the wheel in different areas, so we're doing it on a more consistent basis. So there you go, something I wanted to talk about with sight glasses today. Thank you for watching and sharing your time with me today. Any further questions or any more questions or things you'd like us to cover, please drop us a note in the comments below, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.